Gossip con las Comadres. Yo soy Carolina.
Y yo soy Jade. How's Valentine's?
It was good.
See?
What did we do? I got out early and I do laser hair removal, and I had an appointment at 2 to do it, and I got home and Luna was super sick that day. She had been sick for a while, she had been pooping and throwing up all over, and so I was like, oh shoot, so I canceled the appointment just so that we take her to the vet. I called the vet and they're like, no, we don't have any appointments available.
So you had to go to the vet?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. So we didn't. They said that they couldn't take her in until Sunday, and then so Friday I didn't do anything, but then we ended up going out to eat dinner.
That same day, Friday?
Yeah, for Valentine's.
Yeah. Nice. Did you get any gifts?
I got some flowers and.
Oh, I did see those. They're pretty.
Yeah, they are really pretty. And I got some Tory Burch sandals, which I've been asking for a while.
I know. You're so happy.
I had been asking for a while. What about you?
We just went into dinner. Josh worked that day. And we just went to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you take Addie?
No, Addie was with my mom that day.
Nice.
Yeah, she wanted to stay with my mom.
Good. Did you have any expectations for Valentine's?
Not really, no. No, not this year. Not this year, just because we have a few things lined up that I wasn't really expecting anything. Mm-hmm. So no, not this year, but in the future, or I have been very vocal about like, oh, this is my expectation in the past. And that's in recent years. Antes, no, I'd be like, whatever. It's like his responsibility, no. But in the past, I've been vocal about it. What about you?
I think I have been vocal about it. Normally, I don't be like, you need to get me this specific thing for Valentine's Day. It's like, oh, I got you a gift for Valentine's Day. And it's like, are you going to give me something? Or like, I think I would expect for them to know, but a veces son bien burritos. But flowers, at least.
Yeah.
Always flowers.
I think that's the most. What do you think is the equivalent of flowers for guys?
Chocolates.
Actually?
I don't know. Flowers.
Sí.
Yeah. Que no dicen que like a veces los hombres no reciben flores hasta que se mueren. So, maybe.
Flowers, too.
I think I've only ever given Fernando flowers once, but it was an arrangement with a bottle for his 21st birthday.
Oh, okay.
But no, I don't know.
Did you ever ask him cómo se sentía? Like if he...
No.
No.
I think he didn't, ni le puso atención. He's like, oh, a bottle! And it was like his favorite bottle, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw that question today on TikTok. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, what is the equivalent of flowers for a guy?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It puts you to think, but like, I don't think. Like, I feel like in the past recent years, it's been more common for girls to get the guys, which I feel like in the past it was just the guys getting the girls stuff. So.
Se nos fue Paquita.
I saw that like maybe like 3 p.m. and I was like, what? On Itati's. And I was like, Itati, why is she posting this? Like, and I started searching it up y ya me empezó a salir. And I was like,
yeah.
No, I wasn't too much of a fan. I mean, I guess she was a Mexican Idol, but I don't listen to music like that.
No, I agree. But it was definitely...
Animal rastrero. But that's it. We're going to talk about school/parenting and the different, how you, or your expectations, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or
like the paths it took?
Yeah. The paths that it took for each individual.
Yeah, and I think we have like personal experiences to talk about. So
yeah.
Do you want to take the floor?
Like in regards to like going to school and what the situation was. I think school was very ingrained into me always from my parents, and they were always like, la escuela primero, like, And I was raised not necessarily by my sister, but my sister had to do a lot within my high school years. And me acuerdo cuando empecé a trabajar, she would be like, see, if you're not doing good in school, te voy a sacar de trabajar. So I was like, oh shit. That like put me to like try harder in a way, but I feel like I was also very nerdy.
Okay, so it was already like in your personality.
Yeah.
To be like a student mindset kind of situation.
Student mindset, and it also came from my parents, because my parents siempre la escuela primero, like si no vas a la escuela, like no te va a ir bien, and blah blah, ¿verdad? So I think I was like, I'm gonna go to school, like at least get some sort of degree or something. So yeah.
Do you ever have a moment, or do you remember a moment cuando school wasn't an option for you?
No, I don't think so. Both my siblings went to college. My brother didn't finish school, but my sister did. She got an associate's degree. So I think that was also like common to go that way, and my brother's path just went differently due to life. But yeah, I think it was always school.
Where's your degree? Did you want to go for a 4-year? Did you want to do something less, or was it lo que sea?
I think it was lo que sea. For me, I knew I wanted to go to a college. I mean, like not a community college. I wanted to go to a higher degree college, 4-year college. Yeah, I would say that 4-year college and get a 4-year degree. But so, yeah, I think that's what like prompted me to do it. Like, was just like, okay, my sister didn't continue or do more. My brother didn't finish. I was like, let me push to see if I can do more, because supposedly you're always supposed to do more than your parents as well. So I figured that was the point also. But I think I was also a nerd. I like to learn. So that also led to it.
What was the hardest part of college, or just choosing to go to college, in your opinion?
I was such a daddy's girl. So not having them here present all the time, I think that's what it was, because I needed that like motherly dad figure in my life. And props to my sister for doing it. But I mean, it would have been nice. But no, I think I was always on the grind, like mode, like go, and I got to the point where I was working 2 jobs and going to school full time, that I was like, how the hell did I do it? Because now I can't picture myself doing it. I worked a second job a couple years ago after I finished school, and I was like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. How did I do it when I was in college? Because I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. What advice would you give to like younger girls that are thinking of whether or not they should go to college, or education, if it's important or not?
I think go for it. I always go for it. Go to college, study what you want to study. Go for it, because if you decide, like, oh, I'm gonna take a break and then go back, it's gonna be very hard for you to go back, even though you're like, yes, I will. I'm motivated to go back. Good for you for being motivated, but it's very, very hard. I want to go back to get my master's, and I'm struggling to go back just because I have my own life, like there's so much more that come into play now, and you never know what your life can be at that point.
Share a little bit about your career and what you do, what your master is, what your
bachelor's is.
Your degree is, yeah.
Yeah, my degree is human development and family relations. That's my major, and my minor was in psychology. What led me to psychology was my first year. It was just like elective. It wasn't an elective. It was like one of those classes you had to cross off in order for you to graduate.
Okay.
So, and psychology was one of them, and I really like psychology because I really like to read people, and I like to study people, and like, oh, their hand is twitching, or like their eye is twitching. Yeah. So I really liked that class, but I was like, what can I do with my job for a living with a psychology major? And there wasn't much options. So, I mean, I'm sure there was, but then I was like, there was that other option that I was like, maybe I should do that route. Yeah, psychology was, I mean, it was an option, and it was one of them. I was like, whatever, just to get it over with. And I actually really learned a lot about the brain and stuff, and why people work. And it's like, hey, your mama didn't love you because of this. Or you're being mean because your mama didn't love you. Which, I mean, it was actually really, I mean, it was really interesting. But long term, I had to think about like what I was going to do with my career and like work wise. So I ended up deciding with human development and family relations, which I already had credits from high school because I did a class through them. So it ended up helping out.
Okay.
And then, which is similar to social work, which I've always wanted to like help people and be able to be some sort of assistant or help individuals, which again, that is a goal. If I do end up going back to get my master's, that would probably be it.
Okay. And you feel like you're doing that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way, I do like to help people, which that's what intrigues me, and I'm a helper. Yeah. Do you want to talk about your route that you took after high school?
Yeah. We can definitely do that. It wasn't really a choice, and I think I talked to you about it a lot. It was more of a like it happened. We had to figure it out. I got pregnant shortly after high school, so I did just a year of college, and like you said, it is not impossible to go back, but it's harder. So with parenting, I think that I just had to mature más. It was just like a quick matureness, no, que tenía que pasar. And of course, I didn't have it all figured out, but I think I did feel like I was missing out on a lot just because of like everybody else around me, right? Que they were going to college. If it were to me, I would have definitely loved finishing college. But it's not to say that my life was over per se, but I think parenting really makes you think about kind of what you were saying, how you grew up, ¿verdad? And what you want to do differently. Something que tus papás quizás no hicieron. What do you want to intrigue or like, not intrigue, but teach your kids? So I think I took that role a little bit seriously. Like, you carry a baggage, right? And you come with a lot of trauma, but then what are you going to do with that trauma? So kind of setting the standards of like
not passing on that trauma.
Exactly, yeah. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't like impossible.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like I want to portray. And if I had like an advice for the younger generation, I would definitely be like, si vayan a la escuela, if you do like end up in my situation, your life isn't over. You'll figure it out. And I don't know, I feel like fast forward almost 7 years later, we're here.
You're successful.
Yeah, I think that a degree, like, it's a lot. And people work hard for it, but it doesn't define you as a person. I think that's my biggest thing.
And would you, as a mother, would you recommend going to school to your child, or you're like, okay, it's your choice?
100%. I feel like it's a very touchy situation. I worked for a dentist once que me dijo, I don't think college, like, I'm not going to force my kid to go to college because everything you can learn on the internet. And he's a dentist. He's like, unless you're an engineer or a dentist, you can learn everything on the internet. Personally, I think I am going to be the type of parent that is going to encourage my child to go to college, que estudie, because I think that opens so many doors. And I am going to take the opportunity también, because I have a child that is a very much student mindset. Like, she likes to learn, she likes to observe, she likes to see what's next. And I think si se prestan, yes, and I'm always going to encourage it.
Okay.
Too. Growing up, it was never encouraged. I don't want to say never, but it was like, ya hiciste la tarea. It wasn't like, oh, you have to. It was like, oh, ya hiciste la tarea? Okay, cool.
You see, no.
Yeah, and I think you can relate to this. I didn't have anyone to help me out. And we had a huge language barrier because I was here when I was 5, and I just didn't grasp things as easy as other people. And it's not an excuse, but I think that it was a little bit more challenging for me.
Just understandable.
Yeah. But yes, to answer your question, I think I am definitely going to be the parent that encourages my kids to go to college.
And you're okay with them? Like, be like, no.
I don't know. I don't know. I really wanted to say no, right? Pero you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know if they have bigger or different aspirations. I listened to so many podcasts that I've heard, like, oh, mis papás no creían en mí for, like, creating content, you know, like something like that, and like they blew up, and that is a career. And I always think about it. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I think about like the creators, right? We see like these creators
that blow up and make a lot of money.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, they do have to. There's like a lot of discipline that goes into it, because they're not just going to become famous off of one video. Okay, maybe está bien. They're not just going to become famous off of one video. They have to be like more consistent and stuff like that. So I think it is hard work. No voy a decir que I'm going to be okay with it. But if that's what they want, in a way, I think there's like a fine line, right? If it's what you want, good. I want you to be passionate about it and do it. Like actually do it. No nada más hables y no hagas nada. I want you to do it. Versus like, oh, I want to do this y no hace nada. That's where I draw the fine line. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Or like, I'm not going to go to school and I have nothing else for myself. I'll just work. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I think I was always like, no, you gotta go to school. And because I feel like you always heard the fact that like you have like tus papás vinieron a los Estados Unidos so that you can do better. And I think that's what it is. It's like, and I talked to Fran a lot about this. It's like, no, I want my children to go to school. I want them to get a bachelor's degree or higher. Like, that's the point. Like, how is it going to be that I get a bachelor's degree and my child finishes high school and is done like for it? And he's like, they can go to a trade school, they can do something else, it doesn't need to be a bachelor's degree. And I'm like, I agree, but like I want them to be school driven, very school driven, because I think I was school driven also in learning. So I don't know, I'm not.
And you had a good example too, like your parents who really pushed you. So I think that's engraved in you que también you want to do the same for your kids.
Yeah, I think I was always very scared of like disappointing my parents. So I think that's the same thing that like led to saliéndome de la casa bien, or like finishing school and not getting pregnant before that. But yeah. So.
And touched on the subject, like doing things traditional. Would you change anything? The traditional way?
No. Mi mamá siempre me pidió que me casara y me salga de la casa de vestido blanco, y según la tradición es de que si estás vestida de blanco eres virgen, ¿verdad? Which that wasn't the case. Like that wasn't the case, pero me casé de blanco, me salí de la casa después de que me casé. I was with Fernando for a while before we decided to get married. I was also very young also when I started dating him, so it makes sense. So pienso que le cumplí ese deseo a mi mamá. Y mi papá, vas a ir a la escuela y vas a ser doctora. No soy doctora, ¿verdad? Pero fui a la escuela y me gradué. And I got a degree, which I feel like that part of his pedir, like lo cumplí, and I was like, okay, I made my mom proud with this and my dad proud with this. And my parents are very dry. They don't really show much love. Now my mom is like, que tengas un bonito día. And now it is, but I feel like growing up it wasn't much, and my dad was very dry. And so he's never going to tell me I'm proud of you, but I hear him tell other people, I was like, oh, sí, ya se graduó de la escuela y está trabajando en lo que estudió.
Yeah.
So I know that deep down he's proud and whatnot. But
how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
I wish I could get it more from them, but I mean, it's fine. I'm not. I mean, I know that deep down they're proud. Both of them.
And you mentioned that you like checked off those boxes, ¿verdad? De los deseos de tu papá y tu mamá. Yeah. Did you check off your boxes? What are your boxes?
Making them proud. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And like, honestly, yes, I really like school. So checking that box off for my dad wasn't hard. Okay. Because I really was learning or school driven or like learning. like I like to learn, so it's fine. And then for my mom, I mean, everyone, I would expect everyone to want to get married, like y tener una boda, which I did, and I had fun while planning it and during the wedding.
Yeah.
So I think I checked them off.
Okay.
Also, and it's like I enjoyed it, and it's the traditional way, what I would call for a Mexican household. So yeah.
That's good. Do you ever, like, now that you're telling me that you're very like bien estudiosa, right? Te gusta estudiar, te gusta ir a la escuela y aprender. Now that you're taking a break from school, do you feel like you're missing something?
Yes, but I always felt like that.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was missing something. Even when I finished school and I was just working, I was like, I feel bored. I'm bored. I'm missing something. I need to do something else. And so the reason I didn't go back to school, Fernando and I had already planned, like, oh, we're gonna get married soon. So I was like, I know that if I do start school again, I'm gonna put a pause on getting married. And sometimes I felt like I was getting old. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Let's get married first. And Fernando was like, whenever you want to go back to school, he was very supportive, and he still is very supportive. I was like, if you decide to go back to school, do it. But now it's like, ¿quién va a hacer la comida? ¿Quién va a limpiar? And Fernando, I'll give him credits. He's very, very helpful in the household, but like, it's not the way that we want it. Pueden limpiar, and they're not going to clean the way that we want
it to be clean.
Yeah. So I get stressed out about that. Or it's like, am I not going to be present in my relationship because I'm too focused in school? And I guess it's going to be 4 full semesters. Can Fernando live off of it? Yeah, it's fine, but I don't want that. Like, I think relationships start to fall apart after they stop giving each other that love, and eventually you're like roommates sleeping together. And I don't want that. Especially, I want it to last longer. So si puede durar hasta los 30 años y que a los 30 años después de casada he stops showing me love, fine. Ya duré 30 años con tu amor, ¿sí me entiendes?
Yeah,
but like, I don't want to.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different season of life. You like went through your college life, and then you're like wedding planning, and you're definitely more in your newlywed stage, which
Señora
I think
vibes.
definitely Señora vibes. But is that fulfilling you? That's good, right? Right now, yes, because that's what you have right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very happy in my life right now. Could I be doing more? Yes. Or like, I even told him, I was like, let me just get a second job. Like, it's fine. And he's like, what for? Like, you don't need it. No me estás diciendo que ya no puedes, que te cansas. And I'm like, true, but I feel like I have an itch. I'm like, I could be doing more.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time just relaxing or not doing anything?
Yeah. Fernando always points it out. He's like, the kitchen is dirty. Like, you just can't sit down until it's clean. I'm like, yeah, well, like, it's gonna bother me. I can't relax because I know that's there and it's dirty.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
So I guess otra vez with what advice would you give doing it like the traditional way? What was one thing that was like always kept that guard up, or always had in the back of your mind that was like, okay, lo tengo que hacer because of this? Take away, I know your parents had a lot to do with it, but if they don't have a parent figure that was like,
okay, if that is the goal and that's your goal, I don't know if it's like the Capricorn in me. I don't know if I talked about this in the last episode too, but the Capricorn in me is very goal driven. So I think that's also something that took into play and like helped me like go through this. And I think if that's the goal, you should fall through it and be like, I'm going to do anything that's possible and like to get through this. And like, Fernando se quería casar before I even started college. And I'm like, nope. And I would always be like, if you really love me, which he did, se va a esperar, and sí se esperó.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, it's all in you and your mindset, and make sure you have those goals straight. And yeah, things may not go as planned, which is okay. But like, for your example, you ended up pregnant, and if you really wanted to go back to school, you could have gone back to school. Or you can definitely, if you really wanted to go a different route, that's the goal, but make sure it's like engraved in you, because at the end of the day, the only person that you're gonna disappoint is yourself.
I like that. Yeah. And that's so true. Yeah.
And don't take me wrong for it, but like, yeah, you can, your plans can go a separate way, and you can end up more successful than the original plan that you had, which is okay also. But be conscious of what your goal was also, and be conscious of where you're gonna end up, or where you end up as well.
Yeah.
Be okay with the uncomfortableness, and I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
So for me, se me decepciono yo sola.
Yeah, because it's only you. It's not about what your husband thinks. It's not about what I think. It's not about what your coworkers think. It's about you. So like, really stand for what you believe in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what I would say, and just think about your goals.
As far as me, I feel like, again, voy a volver con lo mismo. I don't think that it's necessarily bad, ¿verdad? Like, I got pregnant, yes, and I figured it out. And I feel like, had I had those goals a little bit more engraved in me, I would have still gone to school, or still done things, or not felt as left out as I did. So I definitely do think that you have a lot of truth, and you hear it all the time. Set yourself your own goals, y no te importe lo que diga la gente, because that's the truth of the matter. And I wish I was wiser and a little bit more head-centered back then than I am now, porque ya lo veo now. But just to add on to your comment, there's like never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late. But if you were to have gone to school back, if you were to go back to school now, what would what would you go have gone to school then, and what would you have to go what would
I do then
now?
Okay,
yeah, what would you have gone to school back then if you were able to, and what would you go back to school if you would
be going now? So always siempre quería hacer nursing, like nursing. I'm like, it grasped my attention a lot, and business. But I went to a business school, and they were very like driven at business and stuff like that. And I was like, no, there's already too much business off of that one little thing. So I was going for nursing, and thank goodness I didn't, because I am the type of person that gets attached to absolutely everything. I did do like medical assisting for a while, and I was specifically in geriatrics. So it's like los viejitos, or people that were in hospice already. So most of them were passing away. And it was not for me. It was a lot of attachment, even if they were a success story, they came out of hospice. It was still an attachment that I had with the patient.
You're like, I'm not going to see you again.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't think I would do that. If I were to go now, I would do some type of coding, like software engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which it ends up working out, because imagine you stuck to that then, and you were going to be unhappy. ¿Sí me entiendes? And now I feel like your family overall is very successful, and you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're happy where you're at. And obviously everyone thrives for more, which is good. But just think about if that was the route that you wanted, that you took.
Yeah. We really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we encourage you to like, subscribe, and comment anything that
you guys want us to talk about, topics that you guys want to talk about, us to talk about, and possibly any ideas, tips
and tricks, as we are learning. We're new, so bear with us here, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you.